We actually got Wargaming being generous to its community before GTA 6, and for once without some shady twist. The gift they're giving us is no small thing either. 3 tanks, gold and even 15,000 bonds. My only advice, don't be wasteful with those bonds. Use them wisely. For example on a full bounty equipment setup for your freshly buffed Type 5 Heavy. But I'm speculating that this gift is just in compensation for the crimes Wargaming committed by firstly robbing us of all the experience from the removal of radios, since that experience was dumped onto the Tier 1 tank and basically forced us to convert it into free experience, and secondly for selling our beloved Waffenträger of EN100 for 300 euros and then blundering the opportunity to bring it back as a Tier 11 for the Guille 15, which is just pathetic. Anyways, enough whining. Here's the deal. Players who have played before the launch of 2.0 will receive 1 free Tier X tank, while players who have touched the gameplay of World of Tanks about as much as I touch grass will now be handed 2 Tier 10 tanks for free. Yes, you heard that right. Basically, this shows that Wargaming has given up completely on balancing the low tiers. The side effect? We now have to deal with even more inexperienced players suddenly appearing at Tier 10. And of course, these fresh vegetables will most likely end up on your team. Either charging down the beach on Normandy, or sitting at the red line in an IS-7 trying to snipe, or even worse, YOLOing down the zero line on Pokrovka, being your only light tank while you sit in an FV. So what does this mean? Right now it's the best time to either farm massive damage games in your Tier 10 and the Tier 11 tanks, or lose your sanity dealing with horrible teammates. There is no in between. So back to the important stuff. Which tank line should you choose? I would recommend starting with the American heavies. The Tier 11 E5 is a fantastic all-rounder, a true brawler with great TPM, solid gun handling and overall a very reliable powerhouse. And if that's not enough, its Tier 11 sibling, the T803, is even stronger. Thanks to its ability, you can push a reload down to under 5.5 seconds on a heavy tank that dishes out 400 alpha per shot. It didn't even took a full day of it being live on the Asia server, and Skill already managed to pull off 10,000 damage in this beast. Wargaming will either nerf that by the end of September or leave it untouched until the end of 2027. Sadly, there is no in between as well. Talking about Tier 11, currently it looks like most of the Tier 11s are underwhelming with some expectations. So we will be releasing new videos in the upcoming days in which we cover all the new Tier 11 tanks, analyzing where they're actually an improvement over Tier 10 and see their abilities in action on the live server. Lastly, check if they improve the gameplay experience or completely undermine the game flow and the core foundation of World of Tanks. For new commanders, my second recommendation would be the IS-7 line. The IS-7 is perfect for blowing off steam by ramming opponents, and its Tier 11 version, the KR1, is a mix of the IS-7 and Object 260 and takes it even to a higher level. If you only care about the meta and want something idiot-proof but a bit boring, then go for the can opener. With its double barrel setup and unpenable turret, it lets you farm damage without really having to use your brain. But if you're looking for pure fun, I would suggest the American medium line. The Patton has always been enjoyable, but the Tier 11 version takes it up a notch. And not because of its gun handling ability or incredible turret armor for a medium, but because of its name and the perfect fitting alpha damage.
Nice.